Today we'll be looking at newscasts of the events of World War II, including the Battle of Midway, Germany invades Paris, and the Manhattan Project.
Back to 1940 for the Germany invasion of France.
Today, June 14th, 1940, the German army has marched into the capital of Paris, France. It only took them 1 month and 12 days from the start of their invasion for this to happen. Here to tell you a little bit more about what happened is Logan.
Germany was able to take over France because the French tried to fight in the last war. The French army spent most of their military funds to create the Maginot Line. Germany changed tactics and used speed to win. They started something called Blitzkrieg, where their forces relied on speed and surprise to take over their enemies. They also had vehicle divisions, which gave Germany a speed advantage. Lastly, the Germans had more fighters that can defend from bombers and still attack the Allied ground forces.
The French can figure out how to stop Blitzkrieg. Here to tell us more, we have an exclusive interview with Erik, a member of the French Air Force.
Thanks, JP. Right now I'm here with Erik. Now Erik, I understand the German Luftwaffe has almost completely destroyed the French Air Force.
Yeah, the German fighters are really making it hard for us to do anything right now. They're destroying our bombers before we can do anything productive.
Can you give me some examples where you haven't been able to perform as normal?
Well, when the German army has been slow and clumped up, an easy target, we haven't been able to attack because we knew the Luftwaffe would shoot down most of our bombers.
Why, that's unfortunate. Hopefully the Allies will be able to get an advantage over the Axis powers soon.
For those of you just joining us, Germany has just taken Paris. After invading France on May 10th, 1940, the French government fled Paris to avoid having it damaged, and they already burnt important documents. The Maginot Line had proven to be almost useless, as France now has to wait until an ally can free them of their German government. For now, the Germans occupy northern and western France, while there is a Vichy government in southern France.
Now up to 1942 at the Battle of Midway.
Hello and welcome to this evening's broadcast. Tonight we bring you the latest news of the war. First on the docket, we have the update on the Battle of Midway. Word is the naval battle was started on June 4th and ended today, June 7th. At Midway Atoll, an area just west of the Hawaiian Islands in the Pacific. This battle was primarily fought in reaction to both Pearl Harbor and the Battle of Coral Sea. It is now clear that the Japanese wanted to take over the Pacific region of the world. As you know, the battle was fought between the U.S. and the Japanese. The U.S. had a decisive victory, having only lost 1 carrier, 1 destroyer, 150 planes, and 307 brave men, whereas the Japanese had much higher casualties. 4 carriers were sunk, 1 cruiser was sunk, 248 planes destroyed, and 3,057 dead. Now let's send it over to our field reporter, Parker.
Thanks, JP. I'm here with Midway hero Erik. Erik was one of the codebreakers that gave the locations of the Japanese naval fleet and an edge to the U.S. Erik, how does it feel to know you helped save thousands of lives?
First, I just want to commend my other codebreakers. It was truly a team effort, but the feeling is a real honor. For me to be able to help is all I ever wanted, but I never saw something this big happen.
And did you know that 4 of Pearl Harbor ships, Akagi, Kaga, Soru, and Hairu, were all sunk?
No, I didn't. Wow, I guess that makes it all sweeter.
Well, your country thanks you, Erik. Back to you, JP.
Wow, hard to think about what would have happened without those brave souls out there fighting for us. With us in the studio, we have military expert John Keegan. John, what do you have to say about this victory?
Well, I have studied many naval battles in my time, but that was the most stunning and decisive blow in the history of naval warfare. I'm sure shockwaves will be sent throughout the world.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Stay tuned next week for our update on the war. Good night.
And now to 1946 for the Manhattan Project.
And in other news, the United States created massive atomic bombs. The government codenamed the project the Manhattan Project. We are not bombing Manhattan, though, so don't worry.
The actual goal of the project was to develop atomic weapons before Nazi Germany, who was also believed to create a similar project.
Albert Einstein, Leo Szilard, Edward Teller, Eugene Wigner, Richard Feynman, Robert Oppenheimer, David Bohm, Otto Fritsch, Richard Peierls, Felix Bloch, Niels Bohr, James Franck, Enrico Fermi, and Klaus Fuchs were all scientists who contributed to the research and creation of the atomic weapons. The British sent every scientist to the Manhattan Project facilities.
The project took the scientists 6 years, from 1939 to 1945, at a cost of $2 billion.
Over 90% of the cost was for building factories and producing the fissionable materials. Less than 10% for development and production of the weapons. Research and production took place at more than 30 sites across the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada.
The project was started by Professors Einstein and Szilard, who sent a letter to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, expressing their concern with the German research regarding nuclear fission.
The letter states, "I understand that Germany has actually stopped the sale of uranium from the Czechoslovakian mines which she has taken over. That she should have taken such early action might have perhaps be understood on the ground that the son of the German Undersecretary of State, von Weizsäcker, is attached to the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Berlin, where some of the American work on uranium is now being repeated."
Following this letter, the President authorized the start of the Manhattan Project. The project was led by Major General Leslie Groves.
On July 16, 1945, the first atomic bomb was tested on the Alamogordo Air Base 120 miles south of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The following month, the 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan.
Reflecting on the Manhattan Project, it was very beneficial for the U.S. to make nuclear weapons for multiple reasons, including it ended World War II,
It beat Germany to making atomic weapons,
and the U.S. established itself as a global powerhouse. As you can tell, these 3 events were very influential on the course of the war and the world in general. Thank you for tuning in.